Super Bowl week is here. And before I go any further, I just want to explain really quickly that I'm just cold. I got another cold. I don't know where the heck it came from. It's crazy. But I'm battling another cold. So if I pause a couple of times or if I sneeze, I'll let you know to brace yourself. Um, but I'll try to. I don't intend for this to be that long because this is going to be in several segments. So um, but yeah, if I feel one coming on, I'll let you know. That way you can uh, brace yourself. You can back away, take your headphones off, whatever you have to do, so you're not caught off guard by it. But Super Bowl week is finally here. Months of playing, months of anticipation, work, grind, um, various points of turmoil throughout the season. The Eagles have finally reached the pinnacle of their labor. Super Bowl 59 scheduled for this Sunday in New Orleans against the Kansas City Chiefs. What a ride it's been. This has been a season to remember for Eagles fans, and the only thing that would make it better, I mean, because we're going to look back on this season fondly, regardless, because of the kind of year that Saquon Barkley had. My vote for league MVP. Um, I think the maturation of Jalen Hurts is um is is not to be lost in all of this too, because Jalen Hurts he um he got quite a bit of he caught quite a bit of heat this year, and he still is to a degree. Um, for people criticizing him for not being a big game quarterback, game manager, carried by his teammates, a low football IQ, whatever you want to say it. Jalen Hurts has risen above that, and he's now the only quarterback in Eagles history to take his team to Super Bowls. That in and of itself is an accomplishment, and I think we need to really show Jalen Hurts some love because of his maturation process. There were times where he could have fired back, where he could have really spoke his mind, but I don't think that's the kind of person that Jalen Hurts is, and um, he's definitely matured in just 5 short years that he's been here, four as a starting quarterback. He's matured a lot, and so and Nick Sirianni, grown as a coach from his uh, first press conference where it seemed like he was talking gibberish. Nobody could understand him. Nobody knew what he was saying. He might as well have been speaking another language. He has now matured a lot too, and just the entire team. We've I certainly am proud of them, and I know that the city of Philadelphia is proud of them too. So, just real quick, just wanted to touch on that. What an amazing season it's been, but there is one more game to play. There is one more game to focus on. There's one more game that we played uh those first 21 games, 21 games, 20 games or so, and that was to play against Kansas City Chiefs. And really, what a better what a fitting opponent to play against. Team that stole a Super Bowl victory from us 2 years ago. They've got history on their side. They're playing. A lot's on the line for them as far as legacy goes. Um, Patrick Mahomes, he's trying to stake his claim as as one of the best quarterbacks of all time. The Chiefs trying to become the first NFL team to three-peat ever. Andy Reid, already one of the greatest coaches of all time, but now he's got a lot on the line for him as well. as far as trying to three-peat. There's a lot for the Chiefs. There's a lot on the line for the Chiefs in this game, and this is going to be the Eagles' toughest. We're a tough test for them because we're no pushovers, but they're going to be a tough test for us too. A lot to think about when it comes to this football game. A lot's on the line, um, and we're going to have to make sure that we are at our absolute best on Sunday. We're going to have to play 99.99% perfect, as close to perfect as we can be in order to beat the team. Because, I mean, let's just throw all the controversy about the officiating, about how they seem to get all the calls for them and none against them. Let's just tell that right now. The Chiefs are a good football team. They've got Hall of Famers at every level. They've got Hall of Famers obviously on the offensive side of the ball, but they've got Hall of Famers. They've got all world talent on the defensive side of the ball too, and that's what this first recording is going to be about. I'm going to break it down leading up to the game Sunday about you know what I think our offense needs to do, what I think our defense needs to do. You know, some other things I think to look out for. What the final score was, although you probably know who I have winning this game, but what the final score is will be um, who will be the MVP and things like that. So I'm going to start with our offense against the Chiefs' defense. This show. Clearly, the Eagles' bread and butter is the run game. In case you've been living under a rock for the last 6 months, for the last year, we have Saquon Barkley, 2,000-yard rusher, leading the league. And might I add, the first 2,000-yard rusher to be in the Super Bowl. So led the league in rushing, 13 rushing touchdowns. Probably could have had close to 20 if Jalen Hurts hadn't poached all his touchdowns on the brotherly shove. But it's all good. We won the majority of those games. So I'm sure Saquon doesn't care about that. 2,000 yards, 13 rushing touchdowns, a couple more receiving. That's nothing to sneeze at. He gets my vote for MVP, as I've said all along, but he probably won't get it. But yeah, the Eagles, we want to run the football. We want to run the football, and we've got the horses to do it. This is our identity. We are a running football team. Between Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, our all pro offensive line, every person on our offensive line has at well, you know what? No, I think we can say every single starter on our offense has at least one Pro Bowl under their belt. And that's just how we roll. We want to come off the football and we want to run it down your throat. We're going to give the ball to Saquon. You know what's coming. Can you stop it? To this point of the season, teams haven't been able to stop it, right? And brotherly shove, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 inches, you know what's coming. You still can't stop it. So that's our identity. That's how we want to that's the way that we want to play football. Now the Chiefs, let me just see if I can find out their rank against the run, because the Chiefs are a very good defense, and their defense is led by Chris Jones. They're all pro defensive tackle. So I'm looking at it here. The Chiefs are 1, 2, 3, 8, ninth. They're the ninth ranked defense in terms of yards allowed. I want to find the run defense. Um, all right. All right, the Chiefs, they look like they're middle of the pack here. I'm on NFL.com right now. They look like they're middle of the pack. So let me just count backwards. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17th ranked run of defense. The Chiefs are ranked 17th against the run. That spells good things for us. 17th ranked rush defense against the first ranked rush offense. There's our strength right there. I, Chris Jones is a great player, but to me, from what I've seen the Chiefs, from the way I've seen them play defense this year, they are a team that wants to they want to um they want to rush the passer. They want to force turnovers. They're a team. They're a defense. To me, the casual fan, they're a defense that wants to rush your quarterback and they want to create turnovers by collapsing the pocket and and give their secondary um give their pass rushers they want to get them going early in the game. And their coordinator Spagnuolo is very good at that. Spagnuolo's MO has always been uh warn you about that. His MO has always been rushing the passer um, to blitz with five, six, seven, eight, as many, um, and to really mix up blitz looks and to try and confuse the quarterback. And um, you know, that's what they want to do. So to me, and it's very simple. It's very simple. You do what got you here. The Super Bowl is not the time to try and do anything cute or get fancy or try to, do some special kind of magic trick or nah, this isn't the time for that. We got to this point by being a running football team. And so that's what we got to do. That's what we have to do. Um, sorry, I'm just reading this here. Yeah, that's what we have to do. Give the ball to 26 and let him go to work. On that ball, you keep running that ball, and you wear down their defense. Chris Jones, Karlaftis, um, they've got some other guys on that team too that are good. Um, I think Nick Bolton is their middle linebacker. Yeah, Mike Dana, I think that's his name, Mike Dana. They've got a good defense, but it's not like, I mean, aside from Chris Jones, it's not like we're playing against the '85 Bears. And I remember seeing in that AFC Championship game, um, James Cook 13 for 85 and two touchdowns. So this team can be run on. They can be run on. We just got to stick to it. And their secondary, their corners, um, McDuffie and Watson, Justin Reed, There's some tenacious DBs there, but I like our receivers a little bit more. The last time we played against the Chiefs, and they really had the same personnel. They really had the same guys out there. It's only been 2 years since we played them in the Super Bowl, so a lot of those players are still the same. Last time we played against them, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, they went berserk. They cooked them bad. Had we won that game, Jalen Hurts probably would have been the MVP, but Devontae or AJ could have just as well uh, been the MVP of that game because we just go back here. Yeah, Devontae Smith, for 100, 7 catches for 100 yards on the nose. AJ Brown, 6 for 96 and a score. Dallas Goedert, 6 for 60. This Chiefs secondary, this Chiefs defense is good, but they're not dominant. They're not dominant defense like we are, and I'll talk about our defense on another. But the Chiefs can be beat, man. The defense, they're not they're not tone setters. They're good when they have to be, but they're not. They won't take over a game. Let me put it this way. To me, what I've seen, they play good enough to keep the offense in the game. And when it's time for the offense to take over and win it, then the offense will do that. But they play good enough to keep the offense in the game. They don't let it get too out of hand. That's what I've seen from the Chiefs defense this year. And so, I mean, the game plan on offense should be simple. You get Saquon out in space. You double team. You you double team Chris Jones. We've got the guy to do it. We've got the guys with the temperament to do it. I think Cam Jurgens can match up well with Chris Jones. And listen, I'm not taking anything away from Chris Jones. I know he's a great player, but I think that if we neutralize him, if we take away Chris Jones and everything we can to make him a non-factor, try to get him playing aggressive, utilize those tosses, sweeps, counters, you know, pull our linemen. We've got a very athletic offensive line, a very young and athletic offensive line. We've got to take advantage of Chiefs' aggressive style, and we can't allow ourselves to get behind in the um, down and distance. We can't do it. We've got to consistently stay on schedule when it comes to moving the ball. We got to go forwards, not backwards. Um, and just as another point of reference here, we in that last Super Bowl that we played against him, we ran. I'm not counting Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts was pretty much our lead rusher. Our starting running back was Miles Sanders, 7 carries for 16 yards. I mean, 7 carries for he might as well have run for 0 yards. Miles was great for us when we had him, but I mean, dude, come on. And Miles was a good back. Miles made the Pro Bowl that year, but 7 for 16 in the Super Bowl. I mean, clearly, obviously, he was outrun by Jalen Hurts, but he was outrun by Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell ran for more yards than he did. We have we have the biggest X factor in the game on offense, which is who else? 26. Got to use him. We've got to give him the ball 20, 25 times at minimum. We've just got to let him go to work. Our receivers are either too big to me, too big and or too physical or too skilled for their defensive backs to keep up with us. I expect Jalen Hurts to um let it fly in this game. You know what? No, I expect us to have a very balanced game plan. Yes, we're gonna run the ball. We're gonna give Saquon all he can handle. We're gonna go all out. But I expect also to see some deep shots in this game because when we last played against him, we got what we were looking for as far as the passing game goes, and we took advantage of it. I don't think that the Chiefs defense can stop us. If I'm really being honest, I think that while they're good, we can take what we want and not think twice about it. So for me, that's the that's what the game plan calls for. You give the ball to Saquon and you call it a day. You call it a play. Whatever you have to do, and they're going to be keying on him. I know that they're going to be making sure that he does not take the game over. But I mean, the Commanders did that too. The Rams, they did that too. The Packers, everyone else that we played against in the regular season, they were all from from uh from about week 3 onward. Everyone was focusing on stopping Saquon Barkley and had little to no success. I don't think that the Chiefs will be able to do that. That last Super Bowl, we ran for 16 yards and we still only lost by 3. Game put squarely on Jalen Hurts' shoulder, and he literally did everything. Responsible for almost 400 yards of offense by himself, and we still won the game. Now that we have a legitimate running game, a running back with one of the greatest seasons for a tailback ever, I like our chances, man. Give the ball to Saquon, pick and choose the right time to strike downfield. That's what I think they're going to do. I think that the defense is going to be so keyed on Saquon that we're gonna have our chances downfield, and that's the other thing about this game. When the when the moment is there, there's there was a point in the NFC Championship where Jalen dropped back to pass, and he had AJ Brown. It was like a hundredth of a second. There was you probably know what I'm talking about, but there was a how can I what can I call it? It was a photo photo second whatever you know. I think you know what I'm talking about. But there was a moment in the game where he had AJ Brown, where AJ Brown was open, and Jalen didn't let it fly, and the opportunity was gone. So Jalen's got to be aware of those moments where his guy's open. He's got to throw him open, and he's got to be on point. He can't hold on to the ball because as good as our offensive line is, I mean, five guys they can only block five people. If Spagnolo is bringing the house, if he's rushing extra linebackers, if he's coming up with some exotic blitzes, if he's bringing DBs off the edge, if he's dropping linemen into coverage, if they're stunting, if they're doing TE stunts, if they're coming up the middle, if you know whatever it is, Spagnolo's gonna he's gonna be bringing it, and Jalen's his mental clock has got to be ticking. It's got to be working. Don't hold on to the ball. Don't um don't overthink it, man. When you see it, go. Just like that. Um, there's a scene in the movie The Fugitive toward the end where the police department were talking about Harrison Ford's character, He was like, get a clean shot, you take him out. If Jalen gets a clean shot, if you see it, you get a clean shot on your receiver, you let that thing fly. You rip it. So um yeah, that's what the Eagles need to do. Very simple, very simple game plan. Give the ball to Saquon. Be selective in your passes. If you feel a blitz is coming, make sure you audible out of it. Make sure you check out of it. Get your make sure you identify your hot receiver. That's where I think that Devontae Smith could be could be a key factor for us. Make sure that you're on point with all of that stuff, and I think we'll be all right. All right. I like for us, for me, I'm giving the advantage to our offense over their defense. I think that we're going to run, with all due respect, I think we're going to run right over that Kansas City defense as long as we stay ahead of the chains. We don't commit stupid penalties, no false starts. You let those boys eat. You let those big guys up front work. You let them plow the way, and Saquon will follow suit. Eagles advantage. Eagles offense over the Chiefs defense. And as we get closer to game day, I'll break it down more. Like I said, I'll talk a little bit about the Chiefs defense, or excuse me, the Eagles defense against offense and what we have to do. Some other things that I think we need to be aware of, and what the final outcome of the game will be. So I like our chances. I really do. I'm giving the advantage to the Eagles offense over the Chiefs defense. That's how I feel. And I have a feeling that they're going to prove me right.